So I was doing a little post-trip inspection when I got parked at the Loves across the street, and that irregular wear pattern in the steers, it wasn't just starting anymore. It had gotten bad enough where I didn't feel like keeping those steers on the truck anymore. So I just came over to this TA, the one where the Little Sisters truck wash is. It was probably the best experience I've ever had at any TA or Petro. They actually bought my old tires from me, so I thought that was pretty good. This spot is the one that's got a big crater in front of it. Well, it's Monday morning. I stayed at the TA that night, and then I went back over to the Loves, so I was going to go and drive into Chandler, try to get in there before it filled up. And I was doing my pre-trip, and one of my passenger side exhaust flex pipe was, I mean, it wasn't even, it's had a little crack along one of the seams in the, the flex pipe. But it wasn't just a little crack anymore. It was cracked all the way. I was able to move the whole thing around. It was separated. So I just came back over this TA. They didn't have I was just gonna throw a clamp on it instead of replacing the whole flex pipe, because I just started my pre-trip. I was just trying to get up the road. They didn't have the clamp I needed, but they had one that was like just barely too small. And so me and one of the mechanics in there, we both worked on it, and so he was clamping, he had vice grips clamping it together, and then I took a screwdriver and I was pressing up on because we could get the threads through there just barely without, that little spacer blocking plate thing that goes in there was no chance that was going. But without that in, we were able to get some threads through, but the nuts they have for those have little flanges that it flares out on the base of them, so we couldn't get those to fit. So him holding the clamp on there, and I shoved a flathead up into it and just tried to bend that metal back as far as possible, and he was barely able to get one thread in. And then he ran, once he put it wasn't an impact, it was like one of those electric battery powered ratchets. It was like looked like a M12, one of the M12. I think they got several models, but that thing did a good job. It ran it right down, and then we were able to, after that first one was on, then it kind of helped us. And it wasn't too bad I think we just ran that red light. I was looking in my mirrors and looked back and it was yellow.
Starting route.
It wouldn't have been a problem driving down the road. It was still, most of the exhaust would have been just blowing up into that muffler, I guess. But whenever I shut the truck off, it was kind of right on the edge where some of those exhaust fumes could have been coming up underneath the truck. And I don't want to mess around with that. So I guess I've been running straight pipes on that one side for just a little bit. It's had a little crevice or a little crack on just part of it for 3 or 4 weeks. So we got some new steers a little bit early. It's better to be 2 months too early on replacing your steers than to be even 1 day too late, kind of thing. I normally just run steers for 12 months, and I replace them. But I've blown 2 steer tires. some people have blown a lot more than that, but the second time I blew a steer tire, my tire narrowly missed a police officer. So I was coming through Oklahoma on Highway 69, and there was a bunch of road work on this stretch, and we were coming, I don't remember what town it was. It was on I'm thinking on the southern half of Highway 69 there. That turns into Highway 75 once you get into Texas. But anyways, we were in this road work, and I got lucky because there was barriers on both sides, but right towards the end of the road work, I felt a little bit of a wobble. I didn't know what it was, but I was getting ready to, pull over as soon as I could. Well, once I might have been half a football field out of that road work, and that thing just it rolled off it came off the wheel. It didn't explode or anything. It didn't blow, but it came off the wheel and then just kept rolling like I was racing my own steer tire for a little ways. And it beat me. It got out in front of me, and there was a police officer stopped. He was talking to, I guess, one of his friends. It was two people, a police officer in a cop car, and then some other guy. They were just parked there, like drinking coffee, just catching up in the morning. And my tire is just bouncing and rolling straight towards this cop car. And it looks like it's about to jump up onto his hood and just go like right over the top of it, but it kind of veers off at the last second. And then I pulled in right next to the cop. And we had it was pretty funny. It was crazy to witness it. I wish I had a camera rolling, but he got me hooked up with a good tire guy in the town, and they got over there and got me back on the road real quick. So yeah, I just do the steer tires way too early. I do it for 12 months, and then I thought if you do them early, there's a better chance you get some value out of them. Although I've never gotten any value out of them until this past time at the TA up there. They gave me a couple $100 for them. So we're heading up to this Loves in Chandler. We'll see what kind of disaster that place looks like, and maybe we'll get to take it in today, or maybe we'll have to wait till tomorrow. We're not supposed to be in until tomorrow. They said it was fine to go ahead and bring the trailer in and drop it off. I'm just going to go drop it off and then go park at that Sam's. I've stayed at a Sam's. There's a combo Sam's Walmart not too far from where I'm delivering. It's crazy how much a new set of steers changes how the truck drives and feels. It's harder to turn. It's because it's got thicker, that thicker rubber tread. Like it feels softer, like everything's grabbing the pavement more. It's pretty nice to be able to let go of the steering wheel and just have it drive straight for a while. He told me they could have unloaded you yesterday if you'd have hung around.